I'm Carolyn.
Hey, I'm Anna. Wait a minute.
That was new. Let's try that again.
Are we in different places?
Oh yeah, we're reversed. Okay, let's try again. Hi, I'm Carolyn.
And I'm Anna.
And we're two sisters who love handcrafting and figuring things out.
Hey, we're here to confuse you a little bit because we're sitting in different places.
We're in a different house, different places. Like, who
and
are
I'm wearing
we?
my Christmas tree crown. It was tricky to get the light right, so here we are. Hi, we're at my house today. It is Saturday, December 13th, 2025, and we're so happy to be back.
We are happy to be filming.
Mm-hmm.
I missed filming with you, Anna. It's great.
I missed you too.
All right, I can't wait to see what you've been up to.
Yeah, it was all a swirl, so it was good. We've said this before. Our videos sort of feel like a journal to us. It was so good to. I literally could not remember some of the things I had done over the last couple of weeks.
I keep in my regular planner. I write every day what I did. And I was like, when we were doing our episode notes, it was so fun. I'm like, oh yeah, I was working on that. So even just like listing what you work on, I think is super helpful.
Yes.
Okay, our episode, we have FFOs, we have finishes, we have whips, we have plans. We're going to get curious about just being festive and holiday stitching. And then, of course, we'll end with our thumbs up for that. As always, just use your chapters to move along. We're going to pause for a minute because Anna's husband is coming in the door. We can hear it. All right, he has been shooed to the outer.
Did you already say what we're going to be doing?
I did.
Okay.
So do you all remember what we're going to be doing? I just have to be laughing because over at my house right now, my husband has 3 dogs, 2 grandchildren, a heat repair person. I'm like, okay, I'm going over to Anna's to film. He's highly capable.
He is.
Let's just jump into a toast.
Okay, let's do that.
Let's toast.
Let's toast to the Jingle Ball.
We want to toast to the Jingle Ball. What are you toasting with? What are you drinking?
I'm drinking a mint mojito.
Good. I have a Winter Bliss from Phil's. Is Phil's anywhere else in the country? It's huge in the Bay Area, is it?
There were some locations in the DC area. I know that one of them closed.
Yeah.
So they must be in a few other places.
We're big fans. Why are we toasting the Jingle Ball?
Because the Jingle Ball was last weekend, and I really like hearing designers' processes. Those are my favorite questions that get asked and answered in those designer showcases or designer interviews. Mm-hmm. So thank you, designers, for describing them for us.
Yeah. I blocked that off my calendar and I was all in. But one thing I learned about myself last weekend is, and this is, I think, part of why I kept being like, hey, you want to stitch together? Do you want it? And I was like, maybe.
That was funny.
We ended up not doing it together. I set up like in our spare bedroom, was all in. I think I'm much more of a lurker during those. Like I like to kind of set up and stitch and sort of be like infused with like inspiration and information. I'm not so much a back and forth in that situation. Same with Anna, I absolutely love the meet and greets. I went to as many as I could.
Meet and greet,
yeah. Hearing all the stories about designers, how they got into designing, what their inspiration was. So many of them have family businesses, which was so cool.
That was really apparent, wasn't it?
Yeah, like kids or parents are working together. I didn't know Primrose Cottage was like a mom and 4 daughters. That it was really, really great. So I love that. I took 3 classes. All 3 were excellent. I love that online platform. Everybody did a great job. I loved all the videos they had, the entertainment that was going through the ballroom. It was just hats off to Steph and her team for making such an accessible. Oh, and then the shopping was so fun
We did some shopping. Yeah, I didn't really expect to. I kind of like to take a peek. I think last year I bought 2 charts or something, but this year I bought more than 2 charts.
Yeah, I didn't shop till Sunday because I was like so into like I had 3 classes on Saturday. But I loved how they set up the shops, and just the designers had put like a few little exclusives, but also some of their new things, and then probably just some of their popular holidays. So I know many of you were there as well, and I'm definitely putting on my calendar for next year. It's also a treat, just again, not teaching full time. I could take a whole weekend and be like, I can dedicate it to this.
Right.
Which is wonderful.
Right. Okay. What are you wearing, Carolyn?
We
didn't toast yet.
We did, but I don't.
I mean, like we didn't clink glasses, like full
did.
on. Did we? Oh my gosh. Okay, I need to.
We did. It was a long time ago though. And let's make sure we do eye contact.
Did we do eye contact last?
I think we did. I don't know. Happy Jingle Ball.
To the Jingle Ball.
To the Jingle Ball. All right. Talk about what I'm wearing.
Yeah, let's talk about what you're wearing, Carolyn.
This is a sweater I knit in 2018, and I did not have it in my normal winter rotation for the last couple of years. And I got this sort of tight t-shirt last year, and when I put it on the other day, I'm like, I think this sweater would look really good with
I
it.
like that color combination.
And I actually think it does. So this is called the Hayward Sweater by Julie Hoover. And I made a size bigger than I would typically make. And I lengthened these sleeves just by about like that much.
You made it bigger because you wanted the boxy look?
I wanted it to be like really oversized. Did you like that view? And I'm very happy with this, and then it's boxy, so like the sleeves come way down like this. This was knit in a yarn. It's called Loft by Brooklyn Tweed, and my color is Postcard. So sad. This wool was American milled, American done. Feel it. It feels. Hannah doesn't like woolly wool. It's like so light and airy. But Brooklyn Tweed is a yarn company, and they decided to get out of the actual yarn business. They do patterns as well. And so all of us Brooklyn Tweed lovers are really sad by that because we love their yarn. So this is Hayward, and it's back in my rotation.
I like it a lot.
Thank you.
And this long cuff on that tee is cool.
I typically didn't wear this style shirt, but I forget why. Like last year I asked our Gen 3 lady fam, hey, can you suggest some companies that have like tighter tees to wear under things? And I got like a black one, a gray one, and this one. And I wear
Is this
them
another
so much.
splendid one?
I believe it's a Splendid.
Okay.
Yep. And now I want to go and get like an off-white one. And like under like my more oversized vest too. So you can sort of wear something fitted and then kind of age appropriate, have something a little bit bigger over top of it.
Great. You ready to go into fully finished objects?
Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, my first fully finished object, I have to show you a picture because it has been gifted. And it is the Sinister Kittigan, and this design was designed by Marna Gilligan. And I knit it using Julie Aslane Lizier fingering yarn. And the colors were Lupin, the dark purple, Lavender, the light purple, and City of Gold, the gold. This was knit for one of my 3-year-old granddaughters, and oh my gosh, she absolutely loves it.
I thought it was such a joy to watch that being gifted and to watch that child wear that sweater.
I know. Hopefully I'm going to be able to put in a picture of my granddaughter and me together with her wearing the sweater, but I'm only going to do that if I can find a way to block out her face. Otherwise, I'll just put a picture of the photo in here. She knew the sweater was coming, and one day they were here for Thanksgiving, and she says, Gramsy, have you finished my sweater yet? And all I had left were the buttons to sew on, and I'm like, you'll have it tomorrow, you know. And so I zipped home and sewed those buttons on, and I gave it to her the next day, and she like wore it the whole time. So it was such a great project, and she is, as all of the children are, very knit-worthy.
Yes, and as all children are, very active, and there's something about seeing those little kitty cats on this active little one.
Yeah.
Very, very exceptionally cute.
And it just fit her perfectly with some room to grow, but she can wear it like right from the get-go. So that was my first FFO. How about you, Anna?
All right, I had an FO last video that has turned into an FFO, and that is Fronica Beiler 1852 by Notforgotten Farm. And I stitched this with 40
When I hold it up by you.
40 count powder puff by Roxy Floss Co. And I diluted some oak gall ink and over dyed it. We'll talk about that in a moment. Used the call for DMC. So as you can see, I finished it as a giant tile, and I stitched on the back fabric a picture of the ancestor who is highlighted.
And
Yeah,
you can see the stitching line there.
Just
I'm going to cover your face for a second.
Yeah,
just so
no
we
problem.
Can see.
So before I attached the fabric to the mat board, I stitched that on the sewing machine. Really, really happy. I've had that idea in my head for a while. Really, really happy with the way it turned out. Although, like, I can see the picture already, because it's just a piece of computer paper, already has a few dents in it just from being handled. So it's gonna wear, and that's okay. But I didn't expect that to happen so soon. So I really like to lace. It was confirmed as I laced this tile, and I can't be in a hurry.
Yeah.
But I just really like the feeling of lace, 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 and then you flip it over and everything was like neat and tidy.
Mm-hmm. I like lacing too, but you're right. You cannot lace in a hurry. I think all FFOing, don't do it in a hurry.
Yeah. I have this leaning in a part of my bookcase that has a bunch of crafting books, and on that bookcase was also this darning, I think it's called a darning egg, which is from the same side of the family. It's from mom. Mom had it from, I don't know if it's from her mom or her grandmother. So I just sort of like those two things together in a bookcase. And I'm really glad I tried the over dye, but I think the effect is kind of medium. Ultimately, I think it looks a little dingy. Like, I think I should have left more of the powder puff and maybe put some splotchies instead. And I think I'm going to order some more powder puff from Roxy Floss, because it's a very beautiful pink that I want to use without the over dye. But
okay. Do you think, though, if you hadn't done that, the pink would have been too pure a color for the muted colors of the threads?
I don't think that fabric would have been. I think I'm going to use that fabric for something like a different category of thing, not like a prim kind of thing.
To make sure. So there you can see some of the modeling. I think
I'm glad I tried it, and
I think the modeling itself is a really successful, whether you wanted less, but I feel like your idea of where you were going with this linen really, really worked. Let me see if we can get it on this side too, as more modeling. That's just a beautiful finish. And do you want to highlight, you have I think you showed this last time, your mark.
So, like all my Notforgotten farm projects this year, I enjoyed this so much. There's meaning in it. It's tied to our maternal line, and it's just been a very satisfying series of stitches for me this year. I'll talk more about them as a cluster, maybe in our next video.
Our next video, which we're going to film toward the end of December, we're going to wrap up our theme of the year and look kind of ahead to the next year. So we'll be getting all your Notforgotten farm things out and all my Artsy Housewife. Speaking just about our matrilineal line, that's going to be one of my big plans for next year. But my husband was talking to my mom yesterday, and he's like, over the holidays, let's do some recording with her. Because we have a genealogy report now about that, and have her talk about that. And he wants to film her while she's talking. It'd be great. Anna, this is just so wonderful in so many ways. I just love this personalization, and just maybe any ideas of how you could have, you just printed this on paper here. Like, could you have gotten like a different photo, or put some sort of covering on it, or a little batting behind it or something?
Or stitched it on a piece of muslin, printed it on a piece of muslin instead. I think there's ways to print on fabric. I don't know, and maybe it's just fine the way it is.
But at the same time, like it's kind of neat. It's an old photo. It's more documenting. Would you put a little information about who that is?
I debated. I almost put a little index card in between the two layers with all the information. I don't know.
And I guess her name is here and her date, right? So actually her information is here.
Yeah.
It's just such a great photo.
So I think
so
sometimes,
of the time.
Yeah, I have an urge to fully document things with a lot of details, and I'm like,
So you have
of it is enough.
You have a birth year, 1868.
I do, yes.
That's just incredible. Like thinking about what the world was happening then. It's beautiful.
This chair is, I think, the thing that's gotten the most attention from this piece. It is awesome in person. It is just great.
I remember, and maybe it was our last video, you were looking at 2 fabric choices. I really think that is very successful.
I'm happy with that. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
And it also doesn't distract from the photo. You know, it's not quite as bold.
Yeah.
Love that.
All right, you have one more.
I have one FFO. This is a piece I framed, and we'd seen it finished. This is by Moonlight, by the Artsy Housewife, and this was one of our 2 projects. So I'm gonna kind of cover you up so my voice doesn't get done.
Yeah.
One of our 2 projects from the Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit this year, and it was finished and framed. Gigi, your designs, you know how to do a border like nobody else.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
This frame, that Park
I
Slope
know.
frame.
This is the Park Slope frame by Signed and Numbered. Signed and Numbered are on Etsy, and they are wonderful to work with. You can send them. They have regular ready to go frames. You can also give them your viewing measurement, and they will make a custom frame for you. It takes about 2 weeks, but I've had such great success with them. I love these Park Slope because they're self-standing. They're wide enough. And then I also sometimes, for this one, I've been using this little dowel, so it just tilts back just ever so slightly. So I was just so hepped up, to quote Laura, to get this framed. I'm just framing away, lacing, and I finished lacing. I'm like, I didn't put any batting in between. And you know what? I'm not going to redo it, but I do prefer a little bit of batting with that.
And how did you choose your margins? I feel like those margins are a little bit larger, or do you always use a half or 3/4 inch?
I often use a 1/2 inch.
Okay.
This is a smaller piece, and particularly with the Park Slope frame, I'd like to have enough space so that I feel like it brings your eye in, and I never want to obscure. I want to give the borders like all their glory.
Okay.
What are you thinking? Do you feel like that's too much margin?
I like it I like it very much, and I lean towards like 1/4 inch. I like a very small margin in general, but I think this is great. So I might try it myself.
Yeah. So once again, thank you to Gigi for making the world a more beautiful place. I love this. And it felt good to now the 2 smaller projects that we got from that retreat. Each designer gave us a large and a small. Both smalls are done FFO'd. So it was, to me, it's a nice wrap up of that retreat and a great memory of that.
Yeah. It's great. Just like a thank you note. If you do it right away while the retreat experience is still fresh, there's just something extra special about it.
Yes.
And you have some finished objects too.
Okay, finished objects. So both my finished objects are actually in the process of being FFO'd, and both are from the Jingle Ball.
I'm just gonna sip my coffee.
My first one is the Stand Up for Santa. I've been saying Kathy's name incorrectly. Her last name, okay, wait. I want to say her last name, I feel like they say Haberman.
No, I think it's Haberman.
Habermans, but I've been saying Haberman.
It's
so
surprising.
Haberman. Yeah. So Kathy Haberman class, I got to tell you, her class, Anna took it too. So again, continues to be so fantastic. Here's where I am. So I have.
Oh, yeah, that looks good.
I have my. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I have it all ready to go. My next step is to start stuffing it, and I'm just gonna next time I'm gonna sit down to watch a movie because it will probably take me an hour and a half to stuff it.
It would also make an awesome oven mitt.
Hello, I'm your hostess tonight. This will definitely. Hopefully, I will complete this weekend. It'll definitely be done for this holiday season. I want to just say one thing I love about Kathy's classes. Well, I'm going to say 2 things I love about Kathy's classes.
Well, maybe 3.
Maybe 3. We never know. Thing number 1, she uses her technology to her advantage. She has 3 modes that she's in. She's either looking at us, talking to us. She has another camera where she's zooming in so we can see her hands or what she's doing. And then the last one is she'll bring up her photos. Her instructions are packed with photos, but she shows those photos plus additional ones to talk us through things. And she really smoothly moves through each of those things. And I think she even mentioned that she is finding teaching online classes really satisfying and she wants to do more. I could see her having a really cool online class platform. I think that's a really good idea I just had. Thing number 2. Oh, she is a natural differentiated teacher. and as teachers, what she does, she is able to help guide people that this might be their first time doing something with maybe the basic beginning questions. Two, she actually at the same time was telling us, how could we make a template for any stand-up? How can we make the base for any stand-up? So she's teaching us for this specific project, but then also giving us the skills and knowledge to do other stand-ups in the future. And I left that class being like, oh yeah, once I do one, I'll be able to do any different size stand-ups. And that is a true teaching gift to be able to.
That's the right word.
I think probably no matter what your level of experience and comfort was, you left that class with several nuggets of information.
Or like, I can do this.
I can do this.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was FFO.
I had similar thoughts. Like to be able to learn in community and have all people with all kinds of different experiences be learning together. It's a very hard thing to do.
Yeah. And she had her husband following the QA, which I think, some of the teachers had it, some of them didn't, but I think having another person sort of queuing up your questions as you went along helped her stay focused, and then he could put the questions out.
Yeah, that worked great.
I did get the kit for this, and it's stitched on 20 count natural brown linen by Witchell. And so it's really, if it's 20 count, it's ends up being 10 stitches per inch. I used the called for DMC pearl cottons. There's a whisper that's in there.
Let me see how fluffed up your whisper is.
I did not put whisper everywhere she recommended. It's in the beard here, and I put a little details there. I did not put the details through that part of the beard.
I see. Yeah.
Okay. So next time you'll see this, it'll be a stand-up. Maybe I'll post that on Instagram. All right. So that was the first one.
One of the nuggets I took away from that class was how to do the bottom of a stand-up. I was really, really curious about that.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to do that.
Yeah. And she, kind of showed us the process for that. All right, the second class I took that was fully kitted was the Countdown to Christmas bell pull, and this is designed by Beth Twist of Heartstring Samplery. Getting to know her in her class and then her meet and greet, once you really sort of get to know the designers even more, like it makes me love their designs more because I can see them in them. This one I'm also in the process of FFOing. I can't tell you how much I love this piece.
I wish everyone could see this in person.
Yeah, it's gonna the light. It was fun to stitch. It is so doable to finish. Keep going. Keep going. This pattern is full of little nuggets that would make great little ornaments or little pieces. What I've done so far is the pieces are pulled to the back with some interfacing, and then she gave us a piece of red little pattern fabric that will get hand stitched to the back.
So there'll be a stripe of red.
Yeah, it comes to like, I think I have an 1/8 of an inch margin, so it's covers
so pretty
the
close
whole
to the
back, and
edge.
it gives a nice weight to it there. Her husband, who does the laser cutting, there's also a top hole to this and a bottom one, which is going to give it a really nice weight. Oh, thank you for that. And then we also got this ceramic, it's essentially a needle minder, but that can be used to mark
where you are in the month.
Mark your day.
That's
So
clever.
we're on the 13th. This is done on Vintage Country Mocha, and it's DMC and that DMC Etoile, which I think you can see in the bell. There's a little bit of sparkly glitter here and there.
How'd you find that to stitch with?
Oh, totally fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Little moments of this little pair of scissors coming out of the stocking. I love that. Is that little snow globe? I added a little S inside the wreath for my last name is Steele. That's kind of off-centered, but that's part of the charm.
It adds movement.
So this was an exclusive to the class. I wouldn't be surprised if she releases it. I think she mentioned that Steph encourages the designers to release their exclusives in October of the following month, so people have time to stitch. If you're at all interested, I highly, highly encourage this project. And I think it would be such a fun countdown, like where you do one motif a day and stitch along the way.
I wonder if anyone's doing that this year.
Yeah. Again, I'll probably finish this weekend. Once I get the back on, it's just a question of
it's so close. It has to go up.
hand stitching. Oh yeah. I was telling my husband, I feel like I could count maybe 3 or 4 pieces that I feel like they have the potential of being like an heirloom piece, like something that would be passed down. And I think this is an heirloom piece.
I think it's because it's going to actually get used and interacted with. So it's going to have memories associated with it.
And I know you get a little light shining from the window, but just one more.
You really did a beautiful job with this.
Oh, I loved stitching
Lying
it.
really flat and beautiful.
Our fabric was just enough, so she encouraged you to say start in the middle. So I started in the middle, but I was off by like 6 stitches. I just had there's an error in one of these that got me off. So I have just enough at the top. But it's a very thin little metal rod that has to go through.
And you could sew some regular fabric.
I could. It's going to be totally fine. And then at the bottom, just a little bit of extra.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is Countdown to Christmas by Beth Twist of Heartstring Samplery. Thank you, Beth. It was a great project.
We'll go into our works in progress. We are both stitching 15 Friends.
Oh, can I say one more thing?
Oh yeah, sorry.
This was the palette from Beth's project, and to me it has so many just great classic Christmas colors that I'm going to keep this palette intact and have it, you know, as I'm doing Christmas smalls or different things. It's a great color.
And you've done that before, and do you feel like you've gone to your palettes?
Yeah. Okay, that's all I want to say.
All right. So 15 Friends, which is a huge pattern. Jane Anne 1871 by Cozyegg Designs. And so far I am using 2 Swatzophines, stitching on 55 count. What is it? 55 Vintage Pecan Butter by Lakeside. And I have some questions for us. So here's where I am.
Do you want to use the board? Or let me just see if I can, you put it up and let me see if this kind of blocks the sun.
All right, so my first idea, actually, probably get a little closer. My first idea is to do every other alphabet a different color. And then I had the idea of putting the initial of my last name in the opposite color in the alphabet. So this alphabet will be the brighter, lighter red, but I put the H in the other red. And I'm just thinking, what do I think about every other alphabet in a different color? Is changing the H a little more than my eye wants? Do I want some consistency along that top line? So I think I'm gonna ditch the H idea, and I'm wondering if I need a third color. And I'm even wondering, do I have enough stitch to make these decisions? So, ideas and opinions?
I'd say, first of all, your stitching is beautiful, and this is on the 55 count. So
I'm happy with that part.
It's incredible. I feel like your 2 colors, there's a strong value difference. So you're going to see very starkly, so it's not a subtle variation. I do like variation. I almost wonder, do you want a third?
In the middle?
In the middle, and then use this one a little bit more sparingly to kind of move the eye around the piece. So I'm not saying necessarily take that out, but I think if you used it sort of here, if you're not careful, it's going to just feel like a little
stripy or
just like a little too contrasty, a little bit too discombobulated, like.
Yeah,
but used intentionally, it could really move your eye around the piece. Particularly, I think when you get down to the motifs, I could see some of the motifs where you might want it to be kind of like a 2-color motif. Then that's a really beautiful combination.
Yeah, and we have something like 5. We have a lot of other reds, and as I hold them up, I'm like, no, which is also making me wonder: is the darker red just all wrong? So like I'm hesitant to put too much more in until we can get back up to needle in a haystack.
I would be tempted to work yourself down to the motifs and try it a little bit in the motifs, because you might find that you want it more in the motifs and then very sparingly up here. And maybe you do like all the H's are done with it or something.
Oh, instead
Because
of
like
every other
to
alphabet.
me that feels a little bit like having them right there together. Although you're saying you might do this whole, I mean, maybe if you did that whole alphabet, you're right, you might need a little bit more.
Yeah. So I am feeling a little hesitant, and then there's another piece of me of like, just keep stitching, just keep putting more in, and as you, because it's a huge piece, and I can try to balance things as I go.
Do
if
not
it's not
take
working.
anything out.
Well, I might take the H out.
Do not take the H out.
Oh,
No.
why?
Because I don't think it's not good. And I do think you do want to use this color throughout it. You know, keep going, and then when you have more in there, if it's still, you can always go back and take it out. But if you take it out, you're never going to know what it would look like if you move forward.
And with your idea of going down the piece, like I kind of need to decide, do I want to do the colors every other alphabet as I go down? So let's go to Needle and Haystack sometime soon.
Yeah, I'd like to.
All right,
Melinda, you want to meet us?
That's where I am with that. Loving it, but feeling a lot of indecision about the color.
Yeah.
And also like, just keep stitching Anna.
Okay. For mine, also I've decided I'm not going to be ironing mine until the end because it's going to be a long-term project. I don't want to iron too much over the silk. So for that. So here is where I am. And I'm stitching this on 38 count Irish coffee. And it's a little bit of a thicker linen by Legacy. And I'm using an assortment of Swa Goblins and 103s, and primarily starting with Goblin 779. And I put this away right now for holiday stitching, but I got down to the Roman numerals. And cannot stop.
It's fun to see the less dominant alphabets.
I'm not all the way, I'm almost to the edge there, but not quite there. And I made it down, starting to get to the motifs for that. So you're starting to see the full width of this. So mine are, right now I'm using a combination. So they're very subtle, and I'm not even sure. If you look carefully, you can see the different colors, but it's more.
Now I can. I wasn't seeing them as you were holding it up.
So I'm using these three. So very similar, but a little depth. But then I have some others that are more accenty. So kind of thinking, like these in particular, like there's a very dark one. I'm gonna maybe incorporate that into a motif, or maybe a motif that looks like it could be a 2-color. This one's a little bit more orange.
Oh yeah. Is that the same?
I think you're.
Mine's more purple.
Yeah, and then I realize sometimes when I look at this, the ones I picked are a little pinky. To me, I thought it was going to read more reddy red, but it's a little, or more orangey, but it's a little bit more pinky.
A little salmony.
Yeah. So you can see like these up here are a little bit lighter, and then those are a little bit darker.
See if you can get up close.
So we'll be very. I might even try to get back to this now, but I was stitching this kind of up until maybe like Thanksgiving time, and then I've just been like all into the holiday stitching and like totally even forgot this existed. But now pulling it out, I'm like, whew.
I'm going to say the names of my colors just for those of you who are really familiar with surfing, and if you want to weigh in. My red is 2664, and this purpley red is 2524. Something in between.
And I'm actually surprised how much thread I'm using. This is my primary color, 779, and you can see I'm already getting through to the spool.
Oh yeah, look at that.
So I've ordered, I was using hoop and frame to get some more, so I have 2 more skeins, but I think it's like one of those things, I'm 2 more spools. I'm probably gonna need more.
See that one?
That's 779. Yeah. Okay.
It sort of cracks me up when I'm like how much time have I thought about those reds? A lot. And I'm like, it is a piece of cross stitch, Anna. I mean, I like that kind of thinking in my brain. Like it feels really good to me.
Right. I mean,
but at some point, I don't want the analyzing to stop me.
Right, you don't want to feel stuck unless you really are stuck and you want to make a change. But I think for this, it is so huge. Just keep going, and by the time you're done, what you've done so far is going to be such a small little nugget of that. Okay, did we say it was by Cozyegg?
Yes.
Designs. Okay, great. Okay, I definitely need my board.
Is that? Oh yeah, I think I still have both boards. Would you like a board? Oh, I'm so happy to see this in person.
All right, I'm participating in the Evertote Roxy Floss Modern Folk Embroidery Countdown Sale. And for this, every day we have a little paper bag, which is nice, that has in it the next installment in the pattern and a new floss. I went all in this year and bought the whole box. This is the first time I've done it. And it's been so fun. I'm building up a really nice palette as I'm going along. Jacob, beautiful, every day has some kind of image. Sometimes he has a free chart. Today, this is the 13th. I haven't done mine yet. And I've been actually
I'm in awe of the way he does this. It's so pretty.
Taping these up on the wall in the room, and they're just
lovely.
They've been so great. I'm just going to flash here. What they're doing then is on the back, you see what's new for today, and it's done in dark. So you can see those dark areas is where your stitching is for the new day. So it's very clear. So I have this all laid out in my craft room, and I wake up, I brush my teeth, and then I go in and open my pack. Along the way too, Carolyn of Evertote on her off the grid, I think maybe Needle Arts off the grid, her FlossTube, she's doing a daily Vlogmas. So she stitches a day ahead. So she'll also alert you to things. Like for example, let me just show you where I am. And I've been keeping up, so I've done up through the 12th. So if you're doing this and you're not, look away. And very clearly the theme is birds. It's called like holiday song. So many of our photos are birds. We've already got a couple little birds in there. So there we are.
It's very pretty. I feel like it's particularly delicate this year.
Yeah. If I can figure out how to do it, I'm going to insert right here a little stop motion film. I've been taking a picture in the same location in my house, trying to get it the same day by day. So
fun.
If I've done it, it's here. Okay, you know whether I did it or not, I don't know yet.
I've always wanted to do that as I was sewing a garment, of taking a picture like on the hanger.
Yeah, there's some knitters that do that, and it's really cool, and then they do stop motion. I think on my iPhone I can put an album of photos and then it makes a video for me, so I'll be playing with that. We started with the outer border, and I feel like we've been closing in on the design. Like when I look back at my photos of day one, lots of bright colors. Here's the palette. Oh, and here's my color for today.
Looks very pumpkin.
And Carrie, because she now has such a large catalog, some of the flosses are just for this. Others are flosses that they already had in the catalog. She's like, if Jacob wanted to color and it's already there, I'm not going to recreate. So it's a really combination. Sometimes I'll look at the colors. I'm like, whoa, that's a lot of bright colors. I'll give you kind of look at this mashup. But then you have all these neutrals.
Right.
So it's a balance. Every day too, all your stitching is in the color for the day, and then that color is done. So I've just been adding them to my ring. And again, thinking this is going to be a fun ring. I'm going to try to do another project with this. And I was even thinking, I'm going to wait and see what the full palette is. What would it feel like to do the 2026 Gathering Acorns, the Modern Folk Embroidery? Like, say this is my palette, or I don't know.
Okay.
Buzzing around my head. Okay. Oh, that's the top. Luckily, there's this little motif here that we put in, I think, day 3. And that signifies our top, because like, for example, these flowers on the top are slightly different from these on the bottom. And this was another great thing. Like I will start stitching and then I'll watch Caroline's video. And I had finished this part when I watched her video, and she said, be careful. She didn't realize until it was too late, these are slightly different. So it's fun.
I wonder why.
Okay, so all in, I think I'm definitely gonna try to do this every year. I've done 2 of the 4.
Oh, I thought you've done more than 2. Yeah, and
This is the
you're
4th.
really good at keeping up with this kind of thing.
So I like it goes through the 25th. I know once we get closer, like I do a big dinner on Christmas Eve. I know there'll be a couple of days there I won't do it, so I'll probably do my last 2 or 3 days like right after Christmas.
Yeah, so maybe by the end of December.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
All right, so that's holiday countdown. Okay, Anna.
All right, this next whip, I went back to our previous episode notes, and I'm like, wait, had I not started this? I didn't realize. I think it's a new start. Isn't it a new start?
I think it might be a new start.
So funny.
Anna.
What I'm talking about is what I've talked about it. I've mentioned it many times. Is blue bell snickle, which is a Notforgotten farm pattern. I mean, I have wanted to stitch this for a long time, like since I started cross stitching again, and I have loved every stitch. There's something about him.
So Anna, I want to stitch this so badly. I think I'm going to order it from Hillside Rookery today because I don't want to stitch it at the same time you are.
Okay, but I think I'm going to be done this weekend. So, well, either way,
I might still order it from.
yeah. Here he is. I put him up on Instagram headless, which Anne-Marie had some fun with. I said something like, all he needs is his pipe, and she's like, yeah.
And
he's
maybe a head.
headless.
I'll hold that thing to you while you're talking.
So-
Anna, this is so
Isn't he great? I
effing adorable.
I know. And so I'm going to make him a stand-up. So he's going to be kind of small. And because
he has half his skin in.
because of that, I'm not stitching the grass. I'm not stitching the border, even though I love all of that stuff. If I was making him a pillow, I would do the whole thing. And because I'm realizing, because I'm going to skip even the grass, I'm going to take out his little mittens and make them red, because they are green right now. And
Oh, agreed. Red would be.
I think if I'm not going to do the other
Yeah.
greens around him, it makes sense to change that. So I need to finish his face. I need to give his pipe some smoke. And then I needed to decide, am I going to put anything in his hand?
I wasn't sure about the DMC contrast between the red or the blue, but once it's done, it looks so great. Look at his little dainty feet.
I know.
It's like his petticoats coming
That's
out
one
the
of my
bottom.
favorite parts. Just a little stripe. Yeah. There's something about his beard, those little like things that are coming down, and I've always loved the pipe. So I'm super happy with him, and I really would like to have him be a stand-up for this year.
Yeah. Okay, and I am gonna order, just as such a good pattern, and
Well, take my thread.
but then I'm gonna use my own colors.
Okay, good.
But then
I wanna
I'm
see
gonna
what your
order
blue
the
and red
pattern.
are.
But then if you finish that this weekend, if you wouldn't mind passing me the pattern until I get mine in the mail.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I really don't have much left. I don't
Anna,
think.
it is just
a little bit of his
It
hat
is
on top.
so good.
Thanks. I'm very
So
happy
good.
with it. What
Okay.
else did I want to say?
Oh,
That I left
are
some
these your
wide
fabric? Are
margins.
these-
I love to look through the fabrics that I already have, and I've already used this fabric several times, but I actually think this fabric would look great with them. And I'm really loving this
I
fabric.
love that one
This
because
was my first thought.
I feel like it looks like snow. Jinx.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think it's just the right blue.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
decided.
This one might be a fun one to think about. Do you want to put something different on the bottom? The fabric on the base? Like, would you want to put a little red?
A little red. Yeah,
Well,
I need to look for some
You know
bricky
what?
reds.
What about the red that's on the back of your Fronica Beiler? Because it's almost it's as the bottom.
Maybe.
Because I feel like it's a good.
Yeah, maybe.
Except-
And I have plenty of this.
Okay, so good, so good.
Very fun. Oh, Christmas dots.
I finished my stand up for Santa. I had finished my countdown to Christmas bell pull. I had finished my stitching for the holiday countdown. It's like 8 p.m. It was like last Wednesday. I'm like, I need more holiday stitching. I had no holiday whips.
Emergency.
I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to start yet. Most of the linen's over here. I had a few scraps of linen in my house, and I'm like, I gotta do something. So I had one of my Jingle Ball purchases was the Christmas Dots by Jeanette Douglas, and she has she did 2 a month, I think 3 for December. And I think it's Carrie, Roxy Floss, is putting them all in one piece. And I think Jeanette Douglas has as the pinch layout. But I see these as fantastic ornaments. And spoiler alert, I'm really dedicated for 2026 at the moment to do ornaments every month. I know Katie Strachan did that last year because I kind of want my Christmas tree to be almost all homemade ornaments. And so I think these would be perfect. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do that one. So I just pulled out a scrap of thread, a scrap of linen, and I used my countdown floss, and I just started the blue one.
Oh, it's tiny.
Oh yeah, they're tiny.
It's already pretty. It's amazing. It's just the outline.
And I have a little bit of I'm using the blue.
That's
and then a little
really
grits.
Pretty.
And one thing I'm thinking about doing is taking both of these and then making a 2-sided ornament. So no matter what side you see, you can see both sides. And Anna, I want to get from you, when you went to visit Susan maybe 2 years ago, you guys went to that really great store where you got some beautiful ribbons. Because I think I want to use a nice quality ribbon for so if you remember where that place was, I think it's maybe, anyway, we'll talk offline.
Yeah, I have a picture of it.
I want to get nice ribbons to put as my bell pulls. So that's, I mean, I was like so
what
desperate.
About the silk ribbon? We have some silk ribbon from.
Yeah, I'll look at what you have,
yeah.
But I when I'm thinking about what, I know some people use Baker, like there's all kinds of different things, but I think I want to use.
Just for the puller to go around?
No, well, maybe to go around, but definitely the hangers.
Yeah.
Because those, and some of these I don't think I'm going to put trim around them. I think I'm just going to make them sandwiched. I mean, we'll see when we get there, but I think we're both a little bit more of that minimalist style. So really excited about those dots. And again, just using my Roxy Floss, what I have.
Yeah. I mean, that's the side of Fronica.
I think occasionally, sometimes I like a very skinny rickrack. So that's the other thing, and I feel like I put that around an ornament. I think you did it around the one you gave me that was 56 count.
I did.
And that I feel like has a really nice little edge for that. Okay. And then the next one, we have a couple knitting ones.
So
it's so fun to be back, Anna.
I know it is. I like to knit a blanket for each grandchild, and so this is for baby N.
Oh, you've done a lot.
So I started this 3 times. I had a lot of learning to do to get the texture, which you'll see in a second, into this pattern. But now I feel like I've learned so much and I'm in a groove. I often send the parents of the baby a couple of choices of color and pattern, and then they sort of make the final pick. So this is made out of Pima 100 in Lavender by Barocco.
And have you used that Pima 100 for all of your blankets?
It has all of them, yeah. And it has a tree pattern. And once I get to the top of this tree, then it's sort of like a starry night, kind of like a few little bumps, and then the opposite trees.
It looks really good
on the other edge.
This is really nice. That looks great coming down there.
Yeah,
is that just slip stitch?
Yes, it is, Carolyn. Which was new. I was doing a slip stitch. I think I was doing like knitting instead of purling or something, and I was a couple inches in, and I was like, wait a minute, it seems like what's called the wrong side is looking really like the right side.
So during Thanksgiving, we have, it's a huge holiday for our family. It's like a Thanksgiving week. It's not a day. We have out-of-town visitors. It's just so much fun. And every time we look at Anna, we're like, wait a minute, didn't you start that yesterday? She's ripping
This
it
is
out.
pretty common for me because I only knit every once in a while, and I'm always having to like watch videos to figure out how to do a stitch. And I go to Carolyn if I really get stuck. But yeah, if it's not right, I would rather just rip it out and try again. It's just the way I learn. But I'm happy with it. And now I'm at the stage where I can do it while I'm chatting or light TV in the evening or something.
Great. All right, so my knitting whip it's the Noctura cardigan. I don't have a color picture on me, so I'm going to insert a picture of it here. And the designer is Orlaine Suka. I'm going to put it across the bottom. She's French. And I just wanted a good, basic woolly wool cardigan using yarn that was in my stash. And the yarn I'm using, it's called Rambler by the Woolly Thistle, and it's in Winter Night. Now the thing about, this is top down, so you start at the top. It has, as you can see from the picture, our light coming through. It has like a lacy top. Right now, this looks like a big old blob, and there's not much I can do to show you so it doesn't look like a blob. And maybe put that
Actually,
behind.
that's your, must be yours because you.
I've split for the arms. Yeah,
That's
that's fine. What's really magical about knitting is, particularly with a woolly wool, right now it looks blobby, but once it's done and I block it, all of this is gonna open up and you're gonna see the texture. And the woolly wool actually does something called blooming, where it sort of clumps up. And right now it kind of looks a little twiny or a little open, and it just fills itself in. So I'm really happy with this yarn and Zip It Away. I wanted to have this.
I'm just going to say that during Thanksgiving, there's a lot of knitting conversation, and I heard the word bloom quite a bit.
Bloom. It's going to bloom up. Yeah, I definitely had this started by the Thanksgiving week because we are just on the move. We're moving around. I'm rarely at my house. We were over in this family area a lot, and knitting just so great. Once you get going, it says a lot of stitches. You're just knitting. You can put it up and pick it up and put it down. Or like last night, I was at a choral concert for my daughter-in-law, which is great. And I can just have it in my lap like this while I'm listening. It kind of just like keeps me calm, and it's just something to do in your hands down here. Get a few rows done. So not really that interesting to see right now, but we'll see it progress. And it feels good to use stuff, yarn that was in my stash.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was from your stash.
Let's get curious.
Okay.
Hey, we just wanted to do a little highlighting of the upcoming holidays. We have a little of this, a little of that. I think last year, if you want to go back about this time, we pulled out all of our Christmas and holiday stitching and did a full-on.
Oh, did you go back and look? Okay.
Holiday sort of parade of everything. And actually, I've seen some people kind of link it. I'll link it in the video right here. So I'll see if I can figure out how to do that. So we decided not to do
the exact same thing twice.
Yeah, we didn't want to do the exact same thing twice. So we thought we would just highlight a few things of things we've done, things we want to do, things we're working on, and do that. So do you want to?
Sure.
So you get started.
So prepping for the video, and Carolyn and I had this idea, and I'm like, where are all my Christmas cross stitch things? I cannot find a little framed Kathy Barrick reindeer piece, and I'm hoping it's in a Christmas box in the attic.
I stole it.
Yeah. But then I'm like, okay, I'm going to pull out some other little things and start. I love playing with this dough bowl. So
this is the
this
best
little tiny thing that I was messing with last year. And then there's a hem stitch piece there at the bottom. I'm just going to. So we need another little cross stitch to go in there.
You guys, this is 56 count. I also want to get this pattern from you, Anna.
It was hard to turn. I think it's at your house. It's not?
We have the other Prairie Schooler.
What's the other Prairie Schooler?
It has like different like nocturne, like animals and a Santa.
Okay.
But it's not the Nordic one. What was hard about this?
Turning it right side out. It's so
yeah.
tiny. It was like I couldn't get my hands in there. I need to get one of the toddlers to help me turn it.
Or this is maybe the one where you would want to do the lacing from the outside sewing.
Oh yes, now that we have that option.
And
I haven't tried it yet.
And you could do like instead of doing every stitch, do it 2 stitches since it's 56.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Coming at you.
So
good
I was
display,
like,
Anna.
I'm going to start my dough bowl right here, right now. So I started that this morning, and then of course, this was from last year too. These embroidered felt balls from Benzie Design, and perforated paper with the same pattern, same thing. It's called like Nordic something. Or something from Prairie School.
And show the back of this with the wool, and that's what this was maybe the inspiration, Anna, for your idea of doing the noodle cards that we did for the retreat gifts. So I think it's such a successful, and this one I love it how it's bigger, and you've done the little pinking shears of that.
I have a rotary cutter that's
Oh,
pinking shear,
Sweet.
so that's what I use for that. So that's what I got so far this year.
Awesome.
Do you want to go back and forth a little bit?
Let's go back and forth. So I brought over 2 of my favorite framed Christmas pieces, and they're both happen to be Santas. The first one, and I have these, this is the Park Slope, and I have this just standing up in front of our fireplace, and so he's standing on the ground. So this is the North Pole by Kathy Barrick.
So good.
Such a great, fun stitch, and I love the finish, and this Park Slope frame for it is perfect. So I'm thinking about this one. Oh, this was the one where I'm like, I wish I had made it a little off. Right, so that's that one.
it's even all the way
It's
around,
even,
but when stitching is more dense on one side than the other, then the eye
just thinking
it
about
doesn't look
shifting.
even.
And just
That's
like a
what she's
few
referring
threads,
to.
like not a lot. And then this was a Brenda Gervais design. I think it was Merry Old Soul. I tweaked the stocking of it, but same thing. He's in this, and they can just sit on the ground. Or so I'm thinking. I love this idea of just a Santa collection. And it's so fun. I have these kind of tucked away in my closet, and you pull them out again, and you're like, "Hi guys."
I enjoy the Instagram posts like that too, of people who are as they're decorating and taking things out and putting things up.
Yeah.
They're posting through things from
So
through the
those are
years.
just a couple. It's fun to see those. All right, and you wear. Why don't I just show a couple more things, and then let's do your box.
Okay.
Then I pulled out a couple things that I definitely want to try to FFO to this year. In addition to the ones I have, is I had finished this. Where are those little boards? Okay. Oh, here I can just use this. This was the Christmas Quaker that I stitched over one last year. And I think I'm gonna, I'm a little torn. I'm like, is that too big for an ornament?
No. If you make it a tile or something?
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna finish that then as an ornament. And I'm gonna raid Anna's fabric for a good backing.
Look at all that space you'll have.
I know. We both like these trees. They're called silver tip trees. And there's a place, we're gonna go over the mountain that you go to. I went one day, I wasn't working during school, it was a Thursday. I drive over there and they're all so quirky. You just find the height and you're like, great, that one's good. It's a lot of space for ornaments. And then this is one of the wee Santas that I also finished. And I'm a little stuck. But then I'm like, well, should I put it in a Park Slope frame?
Yeah. I mean, I think pillow because you don't usually do pillow. I think that would be great. A little frame would be great.
And should I do a black or should I try a red?
Can I see? Mm-hmm. How about a gray? Just take the edge off a little bit. You're like, no.
No, I'm considering. Or green. Yeah.
Well, hold up one of your black frames to it right now. Do it. It has a certain softness to it that I feel like the black might be a little harsh for it.
Oh yeah, it's too.
But the red is not like red. Do they have more than one red?
I'll have to look and see what they have. I ordered
How about pink.
Yeah, maybe a pink. I had ordered this frame last year to do a blue flower llama design. I had done it, and I had gotten it from signed and numbered, and the color green it came in was just wrong. I framed it with that, but I've taken it out, and I went to like Michael's. I'm like starting to dip my toe into like paint, so I picked a couple of paints, and I want to repaint it and see. So that's another option. Like once you get the frame, if it's not right, repaint it. So those are two. I want to do this one and make my decision about that, and maybe order the frame to have that.
How about a flat fold?
That's, part of my indecision is I have several other wee Santas I want to do. And so I'm like, then do I have to, but I'm like, Carolyn, you don't need to frame them all finish them all the same.
No, but that makes me think, why don't you just let them sit for a bit? Do a couple more wee Santas and then see what you want to do.
Okay. I like that idea.
I appreciate you wanting to keep moving with your projects.
And then the last thing, it's kind of under here, I definitely need to FFO because I've been talking about this for a while now. It's reindeer games. And I have 3 of them, and I'm gonna keep one. I'm gonna send one to my older son's family and one to my younger son's family. So I've gotta finish them, and I have, friends, everything I need right here. I've got my paint.
Oh yeah,
I've cut out my templates. All my supplies, I got the kit. So I gotta do it because the box I'm sending out to New York is going out next Thursday, and their ornament is gonna be in there.
Nice.
So,
good.
yeah, all right.
Well, I have a box that usually when guests come, I like to take everything out of the dresser drawers in the room so that they can use the dresser. And I have a box that says dresser drawer, personalization, and Christmas whips. So I'm pretty sure that the bag of Christmas whips in here probably came from last year's video back to the dresser drawer and into this box. And I'm thinking like it kind of has like not a great feeling for me, which is usually a sign of like maybe I need just a little encouragement to get some of these things done.
Okay, so it's not the great feeling the fact that you just have them wadded up in a box.
Well, they're
or you don't even know what's in there.
Up in a box,
I don't mean wadded,
but that they're so stalled. And I know that I can get stalled on some things. Sometimes just because I like to start things and then the river keeps flowing, kind of thing. But I really like some of the things.
I like that reference. You start things and the river just keeps flowing.
Yeah, and
okay,
I think
so we're gonna just kind of open up and what's in there.
Yeah, let's just see what's in here. This is this little wee Santa. Remember this one?
Oh, right. Anna, aren't you like 3 stitches away from finishing it?
Well, yeah. So let's find it.
I feel
it's in a little bag.
I feel like you had marching orders last year,
right? So I think that's part of the feeling of like. So.
You guys, my winter bliss is really good. It's like chocolate and cinnamon. And I've been going a little bit into oat milk.
So like for instance, I don't even know where that wee Santa is.
But that's probably the backing fabric for the wee Santa.
I think it is. So like let's address some of these things. Here's something that I was gonna wrap around this.
Oh, Anna.
Okay. You see what I'm saying? Let's get this done.
I do. You already have it. She has her quilt batting on there.
Here's something when I first started cross stitching.
Can we pause for a second?
Sure.
How are you gonna do
well, this is why I'm stalled, because I couldn't really figure out how to do the corners in a way, because this linen is a little bit thicker. But I'm like, just wrap it or maybe just lace it, and I think I cut it too small. Let's figure it out.
Girl.
And then put some rickrack around it, right?
Yeah, do some glue.
So I think that I didn't have enough linen.
Yeah, she has her back all cut. Yep.
So you see what I'm talking about?
So much great stuff, Anna. This is the box of joy. Think of it as the box of joy.
Okay. This is something I just made up when I first started cross stitching. I'm like, I'm just ready to throw that away. I don't want that.
Give it to me. You are not throwing away.
I don't want it.
I'll finish that for you.
I don't want it.
Wait, seriously?
No, seriously.
Oh no, wait, come on. Stop.
No,
look up. Look up.
I'm not attached to it.
Look how cute that would be.
I don't want it. Oh, okay, good.
Did you find your reindeers?
Okay, it's not done. I think I have to put some more on a branch.
But Anna, how much?
Yeah.
Okay, is it just me? I just love these wee Santas. I don't know what it is
I
about
like
them.
them a lot.
They're so kind of ridiculous in their own beautiful way.
Cardinal Kins in here somewhere. This Brenda Gervais. I think I'm almost done with that.
Okay, so wait, let's slow it down for 1 second. So this one, Wee Santa, you still have some stitching. Let's look at that Brenda Gervais.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember if I have any more. I think I don't know.
That's ready to be finished. I think you might have some beads. This is a Katie kit, and I believe it maybe had a few beads to sew on it, but you need to put your interfacing on.
And I have these project bags just sitting in here.
Okay, incredible.
This one?
Oh, Anna, that's beautiful.
This is one of the first things I did. I think it might need a few stitches still. I have to look at each one.
Okay, let's pause for a second. Do you want to set aside a day or a time where we come together and we do some finishing and we go through these things that are maybe almost done and just get things started?
Or I'm, once things.
I mean, I'm not suggesting right now. It might be, but you have some house guests coming in. When are your house guests coming after Christmas?
I have a few days after Christmas. Yeah, I think I need to say because morning hours are the best for me.
Yeah.
Over the holidays, spend a couple of hours working on these things, because with the exception of the one I was just joking about, I don't want it. I love these.
You have, and Anna, they're so close, and like this is a Pineberry Lane, I'm guessing. That would look so great as a flat fold, and I'm sure you have a really fantastic.
And I have this one too.
Oh yeah, they would look so good together. Have you started that one?
I don't think so, but I have some fabric in there. I mean, these are really, they're bringing back memories because they're really among the first things that I stitched.
Yeah, and this one, Anna, is a Katie kit, so you have your backing fabric and everything to do the pillow.
And then the other things in here are...
I'm going to say this is interesting, though, because we love stitching so much, but there is this other skill set of finishing, FFOing.
Which I also like.
But it's a different...
It's the time of day for me.
Yeah.
I can stitch in the evenings.
Yeah.
In fact, I have a hard time sitting down other times of the day. It's finding those like 2 hours of prime morning time when I'm apt to like run to the grocery store, do some tidying, do some schoolwork.
Yeah. Yeah. Part of being part-time now is I can dictate my hours when I work, and I've been trying to do at least one morning a week that I'm not going to work, and I'm not doing my chores, I'm not paying bills. I'm like creative time, finishing time, because you're right, I'm the same way. Like I want to do my FFOing in the morning when my brain is full.
So there are a few other things in this box.
Really?
The birth announcements for my grandkids, which I'll show another time. So
and what is this beautiful thread?
That's
this. That's this. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think my cardinal kin must be in my drawer of linen.
Yeah. Just thinking about the wee Santas. This is definitely one I want to do too, but
but that's a different. So there won't be the same shape.
They won't be the same size. Well, what size linen are you on?
Oh,
I'm on 36.
Probably on 36. When I started this, I was probably on 36.
And that's fine for me too. But I have the other two we have in our stashes. We have the guy in his like blue coat and like striped stockings, and then we have a gold coat. So I like that they're all different colors. I haven't looked at the wee Santa for this year.
I don't think I've noticed it either.
Okay, Anna, you have so many wonderful things.
Let's get these finished, okay?
Do you want to I don't want to put any pressure on you, but do you want to pick one that is going to be your first focus, or you want them to just speak to you?
I think I need to just kind of look at them and find all the pieces to all of them and to just pick one in the moment. So. Okay. All right, what else do you have?
Okay, so the next thing I have is I am desperate for more holiday stitching. I'm going to go through the new year. Christmas is not my favorite holiday for a variety of reasons, but I do love the tree. I love lights, and I love Christmas Eve dinner. And I think starting last year, I also realized by going all in with Christmas stitching, it really makes me feel festive and happy. So last year I love it when you can find some things about Christmas. This year I'm like, it just made me so happy. And I haven't decorated my tree yet, but it's just up in the house. It makes me feel so good. Already starting to think about Christmas Eve dinner, which is so fun. So I'm thinking for my Christmas stitching, I need another big project. And then I'm going to also do a variety of smaller things. But here are my choices. I have 3 things that I'm thinking about for my big project. Let's see if I can show these without taking them out of the plastic. The first one is Santa and the Wool Makers. This is last year from Kathy Barrick and Liz Matthews. It's a collaboration. And I think that's going to be okay. Just being a knitter, I just think it's really fun and festive.
I like the flora in there.
It's done in MPIs with DMC conversion. I went through our very extensive MPI, and we only had like 3. So to start this one, we maybe need to go to Needle in a Haystack. So
let's get some on
the calendar. Maybe we need to do that sooner. Yeah. So that's one option. The other option is a kit that I got from Katie Strachan. Maybe, I can't remember if it was last year or the year before. It's called This Joyous Season. Take this out of the bag. And it's a variation on a Plum Street design. Oh, actually realized I don't think I have a pattern for this yet. That could be a stopper. But I think that is so pretty.
I always like some
plants
on the roof.
Is a contender. Oh, never mind. I do. So that's a big contender. And the other one is, I'm going to put a photo right here. It's an Artsy Housewife. It's Christmas chickadee, maybe. It has beautiful big flowers, and I'll have it right here. So just thinking about kind of wrapping up my Artsy Housewife feature designer of the year, it might be fun to do one of those. So Anna, do you have any thoughts about which one here? I'm going to show her my laptop, the Artsy Housewife one. Hold please. That would be under boom, 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 boom. Let's see. This one.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's December chickadees. Really bold flowers. Oh, you'll have seen it. Little chickadees.
Well, if you want to sort of cap your year with your designer focus, I would dive right into Artsy Housewife.
Okay.
If you,
And I might start more than one big one because I don't want to. I'll happily finish these next year. Okay, so those are my big projects that I'm thinking about. Okay, and then maybe thinking about like plans. I just have a couple smaller things. A couple things is I keep being drawn to this fabric, which is Black Forest by Lakeside Linen. So I'm maybe going to be looking for potential holiday stitching to put on this, and a couple ideas as we show our Jingle Ball.
oh, okay. You want to?
So let's go into our. So really, our shared supplies are our Jingle Ball patterns, and I have one other thing to show. So let's kind of just go through those.
Okay. I didn't catch the formatting of this, but I got a couple. I've looked at Robin Pickens' designs.
Should we go by designers?
Sure.
Okay, let's start with Robin Pickens.
For a while, and this one really caught my eye.
And Anna and I coordinated, we shopped, and then we decided if there are things that we were going to share, we just got one copy thinking we'd share, but I'm like, that
Sandy
could look
Holiday.
amazing on this.
Mm-hmm. Actually, why don't you show the related triangular one?
Yeah, I love these triangulars. This is called Winterly Twosome Triangle Ornaments. So this is also by Robin Pickens. I've eyed this. This is not a new design by her. And she does these either on perforated paper, or I thought you could also do them on linen. I've seen some people do, it's a type of finish that just stops the fraying of the linen, but it doesn't make a fringe. What's it called?
The nun stitch.
The
or
nun
something
stitch.
like that.
So I thought that might be an interesting, and I was thinking for your tree, like the nun stitch. So that's another Robin Pickens.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Again, not a new one from her, but this pine crossing with the different trees, and then there's those two little red cardinals. Are they cardinals? I don't know, two little red birds.
And then this one is Winterly Sampler. Again, not a new one, but I thought this is prime for ornaments. So you could either stitch it as one piece, or like I'm particularly drawn to the pine cones. So I think that could have some potential. She has small finishes down there. So she has a very, a little mid-century modern design aesthetic. And then do you have any more by her?
No, I'm appreciating her mashup of quilting and cross stitching too, something I'm interested in.
Then this is the last one. This was a new design, not an exclusive to the Jingle Ball. This was the Nutcracker. Nutcracker lives really large in our household. So I thought that would just be fun. And here's a great example of her doing a little mashup of some quilt designs in with her cross stitch designs. So that one.
Carolyn and I, as she said, we were on the phone and looking at each designer's patterns. Which ones are you noticing? Which one are we each going to buy? Because we do our supplies shared. I don't have anything from there. You want to go
This is hands-on design. This was her complimentary design. So if you're the Jingle Ball, you might have gotten that one. I'm so appreciative of the designers doing those. I thought that was really pretty.
Really nice.
And this is called Bell and Bow. Then this was one called Joy, and it's an oval. And they sold out, but she's going to get more on her store.
I really like
does
that
a
one.
lot of rounds and ovals, and she has some. I think it's probably mat board equivalent of the finishing.
Because it's hard to cut those out yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting. For the one I'm going to do for the reindeer games, I used a thick cardstock, and then I'm going to put batting on that, and I'm going to be curious to see if that's enough, because then it goes on a hard board. Because I'm like, when you do quilting, like the quilting things, you just put it on hard paper. So That was fine. And then this
Yeah,
was
on a
her
hard board. I think it's totally fine.
This was her exclusive. My local son here, he and his wife collect creche scenes, and every year they get themselves a new creche. So I've always been on the lookout, like, can I make them a creche? Can I make them a creche? And this one came out this year, and I'm like, that is perfect.
I like it on the blue.
I'm gonna you know what I'm gonna do is I have some leftover indigo dyed fabric. I'm gonna use that. And for them, I think because they display their creches around their house, I'm gonna make these as 3 separate tiles and paint the wood stands for the tiles so they can sort of move the pieces around. Because I think I'll be able to finish that like as a square. So I'm gonna probably start that sooner than later, thinking. And then she also has the option of putting it together. So this one was exclusive to the Jingle Ball, so it will come out for regular release, I'm guessing probably next October for that. Okay. When did you go next?
I got a few from Heartstring Samplery, her new one called Good Cheer.
That border is incredible.
Yeah. And not new, but something I've looked at again and again and again. I'm like, I'm getting it. Christmas Band Sampler. There's a couple of these samplers out that are red and green. This one in particular says Merry Christmas and Happy New Year on it, but some of the others don't have Christmassy words on them. But I like the idea of having some red and green samplery kinds of things to throw in with like the Santas. Yeah, as a mix.
Okay, we'll do time. For Jeanette Douglas, I got the one I've already showed you, the Christmas dots. I picked the March for that one, and depending on that goes, I might go and get some more Christmas dots. And then this was Christmas pin pillows, and again, this is regular release. And I was just really drawn to, she showed them how tiny they were. And I think it was last summer, I made a tiny, tiny little pillow that I just love. So I just think these would be great either as ornaments or these little tiny, tiny, tiny pillows.
And you put the tiny one together with the exterior seam, right?
I did.
Yeah.
I
I'm
did.
gonna try that.
And that, I really enjoyed that. So that was Jeanette Douglas. Her meet and greet was, again, so fun. And the entertainment, all those designers were such good sports. Like, they did their dances, they made little...
I didn't see a lot of that.
Oh, it's still available on YouTube for through the Jingle Ball for 30 days. And they're worth watching. It's so good. They're such good sports. Okay.
I really like the proportions of this Hello from Liz Matthews delivering Christmas piece of the tiny Santa and the huge tree.
And all the dropping snowflakes. I think that would be one you'd want to be really careful that the white really shows up on your linen.
Yeah. What would that look like on blue?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, and our last one then is Tiny Modernist. And this is not a new one. I think it's fairly old. It's called Fair Isle Friends. And I was just curious, this is all done on perforated paper. So I'm curious at looking at this and Satsuma Street. And part of this is I'm having my eye on different styles of ornaments that I'm going to try to work on throughout the year, again, to fill out my Christmas tree. And I thought those had a little fun whimsy. Oh, yeah, thanks.
And this is not new, Nordic ornament tree, but again, one from Tiny Modernists that I have looked at many times. I really like a pink, well, there's more red than pink, but I love the pinky turquoisey sort of combo.
Yeah, I do too.
In Christmas.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
And then the last one, Anna and I both subscribed independently to the Tiny Modernist had a mystery woodland animals and motifs. I hadn't seen them.
It just came out this morning.
So cute. So this is the 3 that you have so far. And again, this is not exclusive. Anybody can get into this. Oh, I am so starting this because I also think this could look really good on this fabric. And looking at these colors, what do you think? Is that...
Well, do you have the DMCs yet? I think it's worth a try for sure. I love this lemon.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I gotta go home and help with the menagerie of dogs and children with my husband, Pops. Pops, how you doing out there? But once they're gone, I'm gonna go to Michael's and get the DMC for this because that...
Send me a photo.
Every time I see it, it's more and more cute. So this actually might be one I start sooner than later. And she does, it's again, those turquoises, pinks, that lemon.
Yeah. All right. Lots of good stuff.
That's a lot. I had one more shared supply that I want to highlight. So many people in the cross stitch community love the woodberry. Is that what it's called? The leather cases.
I will let it bubble up here while you talk.
That's not quite right.
Winterberry.
Winterberry. And so I like that idea of sort of having a hard case, but that's not really my style. And I have been eyeing these Japanese
They're so pretty.
metal. Okay, I'm just going to be really transparent. This thing cost me $40. But you know what? I went for it. It's really hard. And this is my needle minder from the winter countdown. So, needle minders can stick on this. I'm actually thinking you could decorate it with little tile finishes. And then what I have in here are my absolute bare down basic supplies so I can bring this with me. And so inside, I can put needle minders up here. I have my magnifying glasses. I have my scissors. I have my Becky's House of Sewing Orts basket. And I have this little case. It has like needles and pins and things in here in my edge thing. And I got this at the attic with a really part of a kind gift somebody had given me. So this is really special. I have lots of other like very sentimental stitchy things that I have sort of out on a tray where I typically stitch. But this I feel like is something, it all fits in here. And this is just my basics. I'm not going to put any...
Really clever, Carolyn. I like it a lot.
I'm not going to put any other supplies other than my basics, but I am going to deck it out with magnetic things, whether it's stitching and I don't use needle minders when I stitch, but I think this is a great backdrop for that. And it's, I can just put it in my bag or even carry it around the house. And this has my
And you can find these at art stores. I don't know where you got yours.
Okay. I got mine. We like to go up to 4th Street in Berkeley, and they have all these great stores. It's at the Gardner, which is a great store.
Did you go back?
Yeah, last Wednesday I took I wasn't working. I went to Heath Ceramics, and I went to 4th Street, and I Christmas shopped, and I got this for myself. So again, like I know some people love those winterberries, and this was just something
Felt special. It feels compact. It's your style.
It's my style, and it was just like spoke to me. And then everything just fit. I like how it's not going to move around, and it's my basics.
I could go to retreats with you.
I can go to retreats, and I've also found I'm sitting in different places in my house, so I can just, even though I have a place to set up, I can just carry this around wherever I need.
I like the way the needle minders look on it too.
I know.
All right, it's time for thumbs up.
Wow, we've gone a while, Anna. We're at we're hour 20.
Yep.
Okay, let's wrap up thumbs up.
Okay, my first thumbs up is just time with sisters. We've made a few references during Thanksgiving is a time when our whole family, or almost our whole family, gathers. And it's just the sister conversations and sister outings are just way up there in my book. Strings of lights and garlands. Any time of year, I love things hanging from the ceilings. I love the sort of garlandy, sort of twirly, glowy kind of category of things. And of course, at this time of year, man, Instagram keeps serving me all these beautiful garlands.
Lynn's door looks so good.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Oh, I'm pointing this way because our other sister left. Because when we dropped Mom and Dad off last night, she has a big wreath and then greens, but she has little lights in them. And the wreath she gave Mom and Dad also has little lights in the wreath.
I know they were going out a couple nights ago to get their tree, so she must have decked things out since then. And then, as you can see, the style of tree that we love has a lot of open space, and my husband, who just loves techy things, these are hue lights that he can program different colors. And one of the options is colors like slowly changing. So part of the lights might be yellow, and then they go into orange, and then they go into red. And it's just sort of this slow fade or slow transfer to another color. And one of our little toddler granddaughters was like literally like in the tree watching the colors change and naming every color as it came. It was just a beautiful little moment.
Really fun.
Carolyn?
Who needs ornament? All right, my thumbs up are all about kid energy. I love kid energy. I love what's going on in their brains. I think that's why I liked teaching middle school. I just love the kid energy. So I'm going to give just 3 little quick kid energy vignettes from the last month because we had a lot of time with family and kids, etc. For my birthday was pre-Thanksgiving. I was like, I'm giving myself a party. I'm turning 65. I'm going ice skating. So we had a little family ice skating party, and all 4 granddaughters happened to be here, and we just had a blast ice skating. So I'm going to try to put in pictures. It's going to just be from the back of us, but just so at the end, my husband goes, I don't know who had more fun, you or the girls. It was just like pure
You
joy.
were happy.
Yeah. The other one was a story on Thanksgiving night. We all ate outside out here, and it's dessert time. And the 2 3-year-olds, they're like hovering around the dessert table, and I see them go running off. So I not grab them, but I like stop them. One of them has a stack of like 6 cookies like this in her hand. The other one has this big handful of cookies. So I'm like, girls, you can have 2. So I took their extras and went and put them back in the cookie bowl, which is probably questionable in itself. And then I'm like, okay, where'd the girls go? They had taken their cookies and run into our parents' house, where they know they are not allowed to eat food on the couch. On the rug. And they were sitting up in the big comfy chairs eating their cookies. And first of all, it's hilarious. And then I'm going to put a picture in here, because afterwards, when I told my husband the story, he's like, I've caught them. And there's a photo. It's kind of blurry, but they're running over toward our parents' house.
So this was the second intervention?
So at first I had taken their cookies from them. And then as I'm putting the cookies away, they're taking their remaining cookies and running. They know exactly where they're going to eat them.
So, but when John caught them, he didn't say anything to them?
He had no idea what he was seeing.
Oh,
because he had been going through his photos. And he was like, okay, I just had these photos. But once I told him the stories, he's like,
gotcha.
And he has a picture of one of them grabbing the cookies out of the cookie. I'm not going to show you that one because it has her face in it. But what was so hilarious to me is this was premeditated. And how did the 3-year-olds come up with this scheme?
And how do they communicate the plan?
And how do they communicate
And how
the
much
plan?
of this like minor rules breaking is necessary in childhood?
It's so important.
It
is
is
so important. Of course, once I went in there, I made them go sit in the kitchen and eat them, like go to the right places. But I didn't scold them for what they did. I just redirected. Let's say that. Okay. And then the very last one is going to go to Anna's bellsnickel. Once again, I was stitching the bellsnickel. We're like, what the heck is a bellsnickel? So we looked it up, and it's definitely from the Pennsylvania Dutch heritage. And the bellsnickel, would come a couple weeks before Christmas, and he'd intentionally bring a big like switch and beat children if they weren't good. And he's this grouchy old guy. But I'm like, okay, Pennsylvania Dutch heritage, let's modernize the bellsnickel. So I've now made this new story with the bellsnickel that he's going to come and check on you. And the bellsnickel, he's kind of grouchy, but it's okay. Grouchy people can still care about other people. And the bellsnickel's job is just to remind you to be kind and thoughtful, but also to get in the holiday spirit. So I've told the girls, okay, at some point, the bellsnickel, sometime before Christmas, you don't know when, you're going to either come to Gramsy and Pops' house or go home, and there's going to be something wrapped in red tissue paper. So be on the lookout for that, because that is the bellsnickel, and that's what the bellsnickel does. So they've been talking about the bellsnickel, and the little 3-year-old go, bellsnickel hasn't come yet. I'm like, yeah, but you don't know. You know when Santa comes, but you don't know the bellsnickel. So the bellsnickel came while they were out on Thursday, and it was a huge hit. So they absolutely loved it. And I've just sent bellsnickel stuff to the other granddaughter. So bellsnickel is back, and bellsnickel is modernized. And I think, plus, who doesn't like to say bellsnickel? If you haven't said it yet out loud, say it out loud.
Yeah, you're saying a shh, like a
Snickle.
bellsnickel. I say bellsnickel.
Oh, that's probably it, because it is nickel.
But no,
bellsnickel. 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 It is S. It's S than nickel. Bellsnickel.
Bellsnickel.
Yeah,
we are connecting with our Pennsylvania German heritage, and this is the latest installment.
Yeah, and I love that kind of stuff. And like sometimes adults are like, but kids, they'll always go along with you. You know, like they'll get into it with you too. That's why I have to definitely stitch the bellsnickel. So there's going to be no beating or switching or chastising of the children.
Yeah, no pressure to be naughty or nice.
Right. It's more just a reminder to be kind. And that not all, you don't have to be jolly to be thoughtful of others. Like, it's also okay to be a little like glum, like the bellsnickel. And you want to be in that festive spirit.
Okay. It's time to start sipping some water instead of coffee.
Oh yeah, because you got iced. I got hot. All right, everybody.
That was fun.
That was fun. It was great to be back and to see you again.
Yeah.
Not that I haven't seen you, but to kind of like see where we are in our crafting adventure.
Yeah. And as we said in our next one, we want to kind of do a recap of our designer focuses for the year. Not
Yep.
Forgotten Farm for me, and
Yep. And so that should be, we'll film that toward the end of December. We'll do it 2 weeks from today. And yeah, we're going to recap our year and maybe, you know what, let's recap our year and then also just talk about what our big plans are, our themes for next year. Are you in?
great. Or we could separate those into 2 videos. We'll see. I have some plans for next year.
I do too.
Okay.
That's going to be like a champagne video. Yeah, because we have to,
yeah,
we'll
let's do
also have to
that.
think like for our wrap up, do we want to do some kind of like gallery walkthrough or displaying of everything we worked on? Or do we want to just do it in this style?
I don't know. Let the idea simmer.
We'll simmer on it. All right,
Okay.
everybody, until next time,
Happy Happy crafting.
and stay curious. Bye.
Bye.
We'll bring stuff up.
Okay, what's the date? Are we starting? Are we testing?
No, we're starting. I think we're good.